This is a really easy and fun method to use to manifest. You probably won't even realize how powerfully it's actually manifesting. And in today's video, I'm also going to explain how it actually worked for me. Hey guys, welcome back to another video. Welcome to new viewers who are probably watching this, looking for advice on a 2026 vision board, manifesting your goals, all the good stuff to do with that. That's what we're talking about today. I'm Alexa, manifestation coach if you don't know. And I am actually coming today, final video of 2025 with one of my manifestations. I have several videos talking all about this, so I'm not really going to explain it in today's video. So check it out on my channel if you care about this, but it's my hair. And this is kind of still a little bit wet, not 100% styled, but I just wanted to come on with what I consider now my natural hair, wavy hair. I haven't used any heat products. I've used some products that are meant for curly hair, but this is kind of how it's dried after washing it. So yeah, this is one of my manifestations that was on my vision board for a while. It's not necessarily the hair that I always focused on or had specific imagery for, but that's just because I've chosen a certain style and color. But the like texture is pretty much what I wanted. So yeah, it's extremely curly in today's video, kind of like spaghetti curls, but I like it. And yeah, so we're going to talk more about how you guys can actually manifest everything that you want with vision boards and manifest your own version of this kind of result for any area of your life. So on screen, right before I jump into today's video, for anyone who's interested, or if you don't know yet, here are all my special offers: coaching, my manifestation monthly group, which is the LOA Coaching Darlings, as a member on YouTube, and it's only $8.99 a month. So really the most inexpensive way to get extra support and bonus content. So let's just jump into the video. First step, if you haven't done this yet or you're not 100% sure, maybe you're starting afresh for the new year, is to write out a list of all the areas in your life that you want to manifest, improve, or you have certain goals that you just want to achieve and you want 2026 to be your year. So you can break it down however you want. I'm not going to tell you an exact do and don't list in today's video. It's very much up to you, but this is going to be like guidance and inspiration for you to take, which is pretty much my approach with all my videos. But essentially, if you want to break it down into money, appearance, or self-concept, relationships. I know a lot of people have a desire, well, we all have a desire to be in a happy relationship, but a specific person or a type of relationship, maybe improving your current relationship with your partner, all the different areas that you want to work on and manifest, write them out and maybe just say, well, these are the areas that I want to improve on. These are my specific goals and key focus that I want to put in for the new year. And maybe it's also then getting really specific, like I really want to lose the weight that I've always wanted for, a couple of years, or this year that I didn't really focus on my fitness. Maybe this is the financial goal or earnings that you want to reach. That works really well. And then with a vision board, the goal is to create what your ideal life and ideal experience and outcome for your specific goals would look like. So again, getting specific, that's why writing things out initially can help you narrow things down. If you need to Google things, you want to print things out, do it, old school by hand. I've done a couple of videos talking about that, some shorts as well, because I love doing stuff like that. Whatever it is, get really specific, because then you'll know, okay, these are the keywords I'm going to look up. This is the imagery I'm going to look up. When I see this word in a magazine, a newspaper, I'll know to cut that out. So you can get really specific. So, this is what my ideal reality, what my life ideally looks like. So, this is exactly what this vision board is going to look like. But any format will do. It's obviously up to you. So if you want to, like I said, be kind of old school, I love doing that. I have a physical vision board, which I am going to reference in the final part of today's video, show you guys some examples of what I manifested, but there's no exact format. If you even look it up on Pinterest, you can have pre-made ones already made for you. So I think for us girls, like that will be really easy. It'll be, if you're like girly, feminine, kind of like, same as me, then maybe a pre-made one is good enough. Like it will kind of symbolize the life you want, maybe luxury experiences, confidence, just kind of the vibe and energy of, what your ideal reality might be like and how you might see yourself in an ideal version. But it will also show you this is how you can customize your own. I think Pinterest even lets you make your own digital collage now as well. So any format on your phone, doing a collage on your phone, making a little album on your phone, I've done that before. There's also like a editing tool. I'm sure every brand of phone, I have an iPhone, you can do this, where you can literally edit, add in words, cross things out, you know, kind of edit and adjust things as you go. So I would put a green tick over the images that I manifested. And I will say, when I first made it, this was probably now maybe 6 years ago when I first initially made my first one and carried it over onto all my new phones over the years. And I've noticed I have at least 6 or 7 images ticked off, because in one way or another, I, you know, assumed it wasn't like verbatim or literally that exact image, but I knew this has manifested. I have manifested a result tied to this image, therefore it was a success. So yeah, it does work, but any format you want, you can buy a big piece of paper, maybe go to Hobbycraft, or I don't know what the US version is or other countries, but you can go to one of those like arts and crafts shops and get some supplies, maybe before the new year. That's a fun task to do. Although most of you guys, if you're not members, you're watching this maybe the final day of the year. However, you can get really creative with this, digital or by hand, you know, a real physical board. One thing I will say is digitally, obviously it's a lot easier to alter it. You can do it a lot quicker. You just kind of save or screenshot, you know, download things and then add them into different formats. It's easier digitally. It's cheaper digitally, but you know, having a physical board is amazing as well. I love that. You know, just having something real and physical and not just through a screen. I sometimes prefer that. But, you know, there's benefits to both methods. And with Pinterest specifically, I love this method because you can literally create individual boards. So you will be able to get, you know, different specific areas. You can get so granular with it to the point where you can have, I believe it's a board, or yeah, I think it would be an overall board, maybe SP or love, relationship, my husband, my wife, you know, get really specific with it. And then you can create subsections. So yeah, I think I've done that myself. So you can literally have one overarching theme and then get really granular, like I said, with the actual board titles. So relationship, cute couple photos, and, you know, our home, you know, our family, and, you know, have like couples with children, whatever it is, get really specific, go to the end result of what you truly want. Do not hold yourself back. And that is an easy way to get very kind of organized with the results. And then of course, what to actually put on it, I would say again, writing out that list helps, because you'll know this is what I want, this is the amount of money, what my career looks like, the salary, you know, this specific image and scene I imagine in my mind, this is what it would resemble in a visual format. And then yeah, picking key imagery or words, I'll get into that in a moment, that symbolizes it. So what is the key image? Maybe it's a couple holding hands, maybe it's affectionate, maybe it's a man proposing to a woman. Whether you're a guy or a girl, you know, you could be the one proposing or you're getting proposed to, whatever it is, you know, think of those key images that would embody to you what 2026 would ideally look like. Having that experience at some point in the year would be amazing. And that's the kind of imagery that you want to add in. And as I just said, final point of this section, imagery or wording. So it can be phrases. Sometimes that's easier. Your mind will still take that in very powerfully. I'm not really going in depth on past manifestations, as I said. It's more just my current vision board. But I will say what I did once, this may be useful to anyone. I know I've had, not recommendations, requests of people asking for work, university, school related, you know, academic success, essentially manifestations. And what I did once when I was at university, I studied for my master's and I wanted a specific grade. I wanted 73% to be exact, because I wanted to get a first in my master's, which is obviously the highest level. It would be the best achievement, but I wanted to get a percentage where I didn't have to work extremely hard or it seemed unrealistic. So I said 73%. 70% was a first. So I thought, I will achieve a little over that. This is a really good percentage. I saw it in a magazine. I thought, perfect. I'll work hard, but not too hard, and I can achieve that. What did I graduate with? Yep, 73%. Had it above my desk in my, what you would call my dorm room, my university bedroom. And I looked at it pretty much every day and I didn't think much of it. And I graduated with 73%. So that's a quick example of how it can work. Once you've created that, once you've done that, you know, followed your own intuition on how to create it, as you're using that, as you go through it day by day, January 1st, you know, whatever day you start this in 2026, flip any opposing thoughts that come up. As you're using it, as you think about it, even as you're watching this video, if you have doubts come up in your mind, flip those negative thoughts with your mental diet. Turn it back around with an affirmation, with a blanket statement, with a self-concept affirmation, because that's you pushing past any boundaries of what you think you can achieve, of success you believe you can have. And yeah, flip it back around and say, nope, I can achieve it. Nope, it is possible. Nope, I already have all these things on my board. Keep reminding yourself of that new reality. And as you're using this, during, after, right before, take a moment, maybe just a minute, 60 seconds, or however long, even if it's just you visualizing one scene. Close your eyes, relax, and think of and focus on, this is what my vision board looks like. This is what's on it. And imagine you in that ideal reality. Just take a moment to really mentally position yourself in that end result right now. What does it look like? What are you experiencing? Maybe put in a couple of those elements, like I said, if it's your appearance, maybe it's just hair growth, maybe it's manifesting a designer handbag, a promotion at work, whatever it is. Combine a couple of those elements and imagine yourself in that end result, in that new reality. So this is really powerful because your mind literally doesn't know the difference between something imagined and something physically real, something objectively true in the 3D reality. So when you visualize, when you hold an image or a statement in your mind and tell yourself, this is the truth, this is what my life looks like, your subconscious literally cannot apply rational thinking. It's not going to be able to say, oh, that's just an imagined fake scenario, that's not real. It accepts it as real because you'll know through your emotions. If I tell you right now to imagine being with your dream partner and you're in the happiest relationship imaginable, your heart probably raced a little bit. You probably felt a little bit excited, a little bit hopeful. That is your mind literally mentally experiencing it. It doesn't understand that it's just a vision in your mind. So the more you do this, the more powerful it becomes. And then in terms of how to go about using that vision board every day, as we're talking about in this section, is to use it daily. I like to use my Pinterest boards, my vision boards, just something to do with imagery that represents what I'm manifesting every day. Even if it's just something I see on social media, I will use that to reinforce my ideal reality and outcomes. So use it every day, maybe make a point before bed, in the evening, when you wake up, whatever works in your schedule, to look at it, to look through it, to embody it, to just connect with it and feel good as you're doing this. It's supposed to be a fun and exciting task. It's not meant to be, arduous and unpleasant or stressful where you're forcing yourself. Just do it as like a fun, extra enjoyable task, flicking through Pinterest or just looking through that album on your phone, whatever it is, taking a minute to look at it, if it's on your vanity table or, on your wall in your bedroom, whatever it is, or just whenever you happen to have it in front of you. So that is a good way to use it. If it's a physical board, that's what I did. I put it somewhere where it'd be right in front of me. For example, right now, I have it on my vanity table in my bedroom, literally right in front of my bed. So my subconscious is taking it in. That's how I like to use it. I don't panic, I don't stress. The next section, final part of this video, will be me talking more about how I used it. But essentially, yeah, it's just whenever I would look at it, whenever I'd glance, my subconscious would take it in. So that's also, still a powerful way to use it. I took a picture of my vision board and I'm going to cut out just specific things because obviously it's more personal to me. I don't want to just release a picture of my entire vision board. Some of it was more long-term things that I'm still working towards, but I've written down a list here for you guys of literally just the things on my 2025 vision board. And I say 2025 because, again, I think I created it before that, or was it? Yeah, I think I created it in 2024, but like I said, it was a long-term vision board. I didn't use it daily. I just kind of glanced at it, had it in my room, but I just was like, okay, whatever, this is long-term, this isn't something that I have to, work hard to manifest all of this. But essentially, it's things I manifested this year specifically. So I don't know what it was about my mindset this year, but my vision board, the physical one at least, was really, really powerful. I have some digital ones as well, like I said, but specifically focusing on this one for the sake of this video to tell you guys how it actually works. These are the things I manifested. So some of it was opportunities that I just chose not to pursue, but it's proof that the perfect opportunity does come to you. One thing I have is the word family holiday. I wanted to travel, have great experiences with my family. We tend to travel together anyway. So I thought, let me focus on some great moments there that I would love to experience together. So one thing was a family holiday to Croatia, but I also just had the word family holiday. And we had an opportunity where me and a few family members were actually literally discussing booking going on a holiday to Croatia potentially. We were considering it. We were saying, this would be a great opportunity. When we did a recent trip, we were literally looking at Croatia. We discussed it several times as well. So it was something we really want to do again. We have been once before, but it was specifically for me what I wanted, but it came about naturally. I did not initiate it, because you can say, well, that's easy to do. You go on a travel website and you type in holidays to Croatia. And I know, if you have the funds to do it, of course you can just book and go. But the point is, I wasn't planning it. I wasn't desperate for it. It was like at the back of my mind, and a really organic opportunity came up and it almost just happened. So that was one I do consider a manifestation, because I had a really, strong chance to have this come up. And naturally, I didn't think about it. It was only when I was kind of analyzing my vision board later that I thought, wow, that was something that manifested this year. This was again one I didn't have resistance to, but I wasn't considering it as realistic. I thought, yes, again, it's something I could just spend money on to receive, but I didn't want to do that. I thought I'll wait for an opportunity to show up. And that was a LED mask. If you girls know, or guys, whoever uses this, it's mostly girls though, but one of those fancy UV light masks. They are expensive. If you get a quality, high-end brand, it's hundreds of pounds, and it just wasn't something I wanted to invest in. I wasn't too fussy about it. I was like, it would be great to have it, but I want to get it for free, or I want to just have the best opportunity. So I thought, yeah, my assumption is a brand will probably send me one, or I'll be gifted one. What happened? I think prior to that, I was almost gifted one anyway, but this year specifically, a couple months ago, a brand offered me one, and I chose not to take the opportunity, because otherwise I would have it here to show you guys. But they did. They said, we will send you this great mask for free. So I manifested it with no resistance. Next, as I said, I won't go into too much detail, but it's my hair. I did have the word mermaid waves literally on my board, because I did want to focus more on my hair, having just beautiful curly hair. This is not the full end result. This is just how I chose to style it for today, but you can see there is really significant waves in there. It is kind of what you would describe as mermaid waves. It almost looks like I have wet hair and I've just got out of the water. So it like verbatim manifested, so that was great. Next one is a little bit more subjective, and I need to explain what I mean, but I had, for self-concept and physical appearance and my own confidence, I just had the word supermodel, because why not? And I'm very tall, so oftentimes, if people compliment me, I have been told, oh, you could be a model. And this year, I think several times I had people tell me, you should model, you look like a model. That word was just on there, just for fun, but it kind of manifested because people reflected back to me that type of self-concept. Next is the word YouTube success. So this was again kind of open-ended. I was very open to whatever manifested, not having a lot of resistance whatsoever. And I thought this will manifest in the perfect way as it's supposed to. And yeah, I've had quite a few viral videos on this channel and my second channel. I've had growth that I had kind of in my mind as a goal that I wanted to achieve financially on YouTube, just in quantifiable ways as well, of certain numbers that I reached and viewers and feedback from clients. So I had the YouTube success that I was open to. Obviously, I know you could say, well, you could get 1 million subscribers and that would be the ultimate success. But in my own way, what I'm happy with, I did achieve quite a few moments throughout this year of amazing, unexpected success. Next is something very specific that proves how this works. That is Aveda hair products. I meant to bring them with me, have here. I forgot to prepare them before the video, but as part of my Christmas present, completely unexpected, I received a whole set of Aveda hair products. Now that is quite a more high-end luxury brand. They're not cheap products. And I think even from, because on my vision board, I'll pop up a picture, I literally had for something from like a dark green range. I think they're botanical range. And I'm pretty sure that's what I received, or it's another brand, another range within the brand that has dark green packaging. So it very, very specifically manifested. And then sticking to the beauty range, I wrote down here as well how I manifested my own version. And again, it's not a direct reflection, but I know because it came up so naturally and unexpectedly, it has to be tied to this. One of my favorite perfumes is from Salvatore Ferragamo. I think it's called Signorina. And it's been my favorite for years, ever since I first tried it. And I thought I've run out quite a few years ago, never repurchased it, but it would be nice to have that. I saw it in a magazine, blah, blah, blah. Long story short, I manifested a dupe. When I can find cheap, amazingly scented dupes of perfumes I love, I like to buy them. I like to have a wide range of perfumes. And there was one that smelled just like it, and I received it as a gift. So I managed to stumble across it, and I didn't even think about it being on my vision board. When I first smelled it, I just thought, oh my gosh, that's like my favorite perfume. And it was a dupe of it. And then I received it as a gift. So in a perfect weird way, it manifested as well. Final point, this was just one word that stuck out to me. The word femininity. It was something within myself, self-concept, identity that I really wanted to connect with and embrace more this year. And I definitely did. I've had so many mindset shifts and I don't even know how to describe it. I guess goals that I've created, vision for my life, the way I carry myself, the way I dress, just kind of like a glow up in my opinion. And my energy as well, that people have literally told me they've sensed a shift in my energy, and I have noticed it as well. And I think that word, embodying femininity, has been the key element. So again, no resistance, no real goal set. I wasn't thinking about it every day. I completely forgot that's what was on my vision board, if I'm honest. And I feel like it really has throughout the year manifested. So yeah, just self-concept can be a huge area to improve on. So this is a really long video, so I'm going to cut it off here now. But I hope this was useful and inspiring for you guys. Leave a comment below if you do test out this method. And yeah, I will see you guys next time. Bye.